In this video, I'm going to share on how to create your invoices automatically for every month and send it to your parents in this PDF format. So let's get started. So first of all, what you need to do is to create a base. So for example, I have my workspace, Hari's Tuition. I'm going to create a base over here, an Airtable base. I'm going to click start from scratch. So this will create a base over here, something like Google Sheets. And what I need to do is to rename your base. So usually I rename my invoices or my base to accounts, right? And then after that, maybe I'll make it yellow for the color of money. And then after that, in my table, I'm going to click on this and then see rename table, click on it, and then type in invoices. That's what I see over here. And I save. So basically I create a base for invoices. The next thing is that I'm going to create my own columns as what you see over here. So you have your name and then there is these three columns. So you can either delete one by one. So delete this field, delete this field, and delete this field as well. Then after that, you're going to create some fields over here. So first of all, I'm going to create an ID. So for every invoice, there's an individual ID. So what you're going to do is you can type in here ID and it will say here auto number. So for the field name, I usually put in ID and then create. So for each row, there is an ID 1, 2, and 3. This is what we're going to use to name our invoice over here. So the next thing is that we're going to change this name into a formula. So formula, you can think of it as something that it's very close to code. So the formula over here is going to be like this. So I'm going to share the formula at the description, but you can pause this video to type it in. Basically, I'm going to put INV as the starting, and then I'm going to put 7 zeros. So you can put any number of zeros you want, but I recommend 7 because there's a lot of invoices. And then also the ID, and then basically it will change our invoice to the ID according to what you see over here. So let's click save, and then you see your ID has changed as what you see over here. All right, so now the next thing is that we are going to put the amount. All right, so we just put amount over here, and then over here you can put here currency, and this is where you can put in the dollar sign. That's what you see over here. Okay, so let's create a field, and maybe for the first invoices, let's put 400. That's what you see over here. Then also you can just delete this row, so highlight this both and delete all selected invoices. Okay, so the next part is then we're gonna add in the due date. Okay, so we're gonna type in due date, so create a new field called due date and then just search for the date itself. Usually for the date format, I usually want friendly because it's easier for me to read as well. So create a field over here, and lastly we are going to put the created field, which is also a date as well. So same thing, you're just going to put a friendly format as what you see over here. So usually I would like to put a created over here. So let's say we created today, and the due date we want it to be, for example, next week, so that the parents or anyone who are invoiced, it requires them 1 week to pay up. So the next thing is that we're going to have a paid status. So type in paid status. So this allows us to understand whether the invoice has been paid as well. So we're going to choose the field type, single select as what you see over here. I'm going to add two statuses, not yet paid. All right. And then you see there is this button. We can actually change the color. So I'm going to put here yellow, and then I'll put another option. So click add option, and this should be paid, and this should be in green. And then once done, you can click create field, and then you can just change this to not yet paid. The last thing is it's going to be called program. So what are the classes that the student has taken? So the program should be a single line text over here, and let's create, and let's say secondary for math class in this case over here. Okay, so this is essentially what you have created for the invoice. Okay, so the next thing is we're going to create another table because we also need to know who is going to pay our invoices. So let's click on add or import, start from scratch, and we're going to name this as customers, right? And save this. So for the customer, it's pretty simple, right? Pretty straightforward. So we have the name, and then we're going to delete this field over here. So let's delete these three fields. And let's delete these two rows as well, you see over here. So now we're gonna add in the phone, right? So I'm gonna put this as single line text, and then I'm gonna put in email. So find the field type email over here. If you don't put the field name, then it will actually put in the field name for you. And then we're gonna add in address as well. Okay, and then this address will be like a single line text as well as what you see over here. So something very simple. So now let's add in our simple customer. So I just Haris Samingan, and then I'm gonna put my phone number 88999. So it will look something like this, right? So how do we connect our customers to our invoices? So we're gonna create another field that's going to link to another record. That's what you see over here. So you click on it, and then you see that there is this customer. So click on customers, and then there is this choice that has been selected for us, allow linking to multiple records. So usually one invoice to one customer. So we're going to deselect, and it should look something like this. And we're going to click on create field. So you don't have to say customers. And then it says here add lookup fields. So essentially what it does is that it can also show the name of the customer, phone, email, and the address. So we're gonna select all. So make sure all of this is green and add 4 fields. That's what you see over here. Okay, so once done, then we're going to choose our customer. So you click on our customer, there's this plus button over here. Click on the plus, and you see the customer that you want to connect to your invoice, which is Hari Samingan over here. Right, so that is step one of creating your accounts over here. So I like Airtable because you can connect different tables together as what you see over here. So the next part is that we're going to connect our Airtable and use integrations. So I'm recommending make.com because it's fairly cheap. You can use Zapier as well, but if you want to do what I do, then you need to pay. But for make.com, you can essentially use it for free. So what you can do is you can sign in with a Google account, and then this will tell you which Google account you want to connect. So any Google account works. And the next part is we're going to create a new scenario. Right? So what we're going to do is that we're going to make use of Airtable, as what you see over here, and we're going to search the records. So you might need to connect a connection as what you see over here. So you will have to add a connection, and the connection type, usually I will recommend Airtable or off, and I can rename your connection as well. So you can try this and save, and this will open up your Airtable. And what you need to do is to add the base that you have created. So for me, I have Hari's tuition over here, all current and future bases in this workspace of Hari's tuition, or whatever workspace name that you have, and you can just grant access as what you see over here. So once done, then it will try to verify, and it has verified successfully. So the next part is that the base over here, this will then show you the bases that you have created. So the bases that we want is the accounts. That's what you see over here. So with these bases, we will get our invoices. So one thing is that your invoices, some of it has been paid because you manually check. So how do you then just get a view that only has not yet paid invoices? So what you can do is that you can actually create another grid view over here. So you click on the plus over here, and it says here grid 2. So I'm going to name this view not yet paid and create a new view as what you see over here. So now how do we filter? Basically, we can click on filter, add a condition, and then you see that there is this column, and then we're going to choose the column to paid status, and this paid status we're going to choose the not yet paid. So for any invoices, for example, if I were to go to grid view again, right click and then duplicate invoice, right? So now you have a new invoice over here, but this will be paid. And yeah, so you see that there is this all of the invoices, but the not yet paid, we only get the invoice that is not yet paid, as what you see over here. So we only want to send invoices that has not been paid. So let's go back to integration Airtable over here. So let's click on view. So sometimes it has not been updated. You see this refresh icon, click on it, it refreshes, and then you should see the not yet paid. That's what you see over here. The next part is then we're gonna select all of these output fields over here. So we select all, so we ignore the formula, and then the maximum number of records that we're going to return, activate this, we can assume 10. So you have more than 10 students, then maybe you put 100 as well. Okay, but 10 should be enough. So let's click OK, and there you go. So the next thing is that you can actually set the schedule to your specific timing that you want. So in this case, maybe I want to have it sent every 7th of the month. So you click on days of the month and then scroll down and you put 7, and maybe you send it at 12:33 p.m. Okay, and then you press OK. So it says here your scenario is not scheduled but not active. Would you like to activate now to run as planned? So not yet. So we are going to run this every 7 days at this time. What this basically means that every 7th of every month, this will actually send all the unpaid invoices to your customers. So the next part is we're going to create our invoices, right? So I actually have created an invoice template that you can use. So basically, you can just make a copy, and then after that, you can just change this part over here and maybe add in your payment instructions and your terms and conditions. So you can pause this video, make a copy, and then change all of these different details and add some details or even change some of it. At the same time, do not remove any double curly brackets as what you see over here, because this is important for our automation. So pause this video and edit your invoice template. So I have edited my invoice template as what you see over here. I add in my company's name, my company's address, and also the phone number. I add my pay now QR code as well, and also my payment instructions. So don't worry, this is fake. And then also my terms and condition as what you see over here. So once that is done, then the next part is to go back to make.com and click the plus over here. So what we're going to do is we're going to search Google Docs as what you see over here. I'm going to create a document from a template. So the template over here that you have created, we're going to make a document. So create a document from the template, and then it might also show the connection. So you can click on add, sign in with Google, right? And then you just choose the Google account that you need to connect to. So once that's done, the next thing is that you're going to choose where you want to create your document. So what I recommend is to create a folder inside your Google Drive called your tuition name or your company name, and create a invoices folder as well. So another thing that I've done is that I'm going to make this public so that when you send to a parent, they can actually view the invoice that they need to pay. So once you have created the folder, maybe at first it looks like this, restricted. So make sure that anyone the link can actually view this as well. So once that's done, then go back to the make.com over here, and you want to click here to choose the file that you want to create the invoice template as well. So you see inside my tuition folder, I have my invoice template as what you see over here. So I'm going to click here to choose and choose Harris Tuition, and then make sure it chooses the Harris Tuition invoice template as what you see over here. And now it loads all of the different fields that we're going to add in. So you see invoice, invoice date, and many more. Okay, so one thing is that we also want to test whether each of our steps over here works. So you can right click on your Airtable search record and run this, we call this module. So run this module, and it actually show all of the invoices that has not been paid. As you see here, not paid. Okay, so next is the Google Docs. With this, we can use the data that we get from our search records over here. So sometimes it doesn't show, so you can close, open this again, and then it actually shows the data that you actually got, right? So try again with the document ID. All right, so now you're going to add in the invoice number. So you see the name, the invoice 0001, you click on that. Invoice date, so the created is here, the due date, so you just click on it. So you see the customers, so name from customer. So you click on this arrow over here and you see the value. So this is my name. So click here, customer address. So same thing, the address over here. Customer phone number, click on this over here. And then the class, so the program that you've created, this is the class. So after the program, then you see the class amount. So we're just going to put 1. So the number of classes the person takes. Then the class price as well. So you have the amount and the class total amount as what you see over here. And then lastly, the title. So usually the title, I'll just put in the invoice number as well. Okay, so the last part is that we're going to add the new documents location. So click here to choose the folder, and we're going to choose Hari's tuition plus the invoices, and then press OK. Okay, so let's try this and see if this works. So if I were to click run once, then inside my Hari's tuition invoices folder over here, it will actually create a Google Docs. So let's go to make.com, click run once, and you see that it should work. And let's go to invoice, and then you see they actually adds all of the different data that we have input. So that's amazing. Now you don't have to manually input all of the invoices. That's what you see over here. Okay, so now the next part is we don't want to send a Google Doc to the parents or to the student to pay. Usually what we do is that we actually make this into a PDF and we can send it through an email. So let's click on plus, and what we're going to do is that we are going to change these Google Docs into a PDF. So how we do that is we can go to Google Docs. So add a new module, Google Docs, and then you'll see that there is this download a document. So we're going to download this document into a PDF. So first we need to change this document ID. Click here to choose file. So first we need to choose this document ID. So what you need to do is you're not going to choose the file. You're going to use this thing called map. So essentially we're going to use our previously created Google Docs, and you see there is this document ID over here. So I'm going to repeat one more time. So it will look something like this. Click on map and you see this, it turns blue. Then you see the document ID. Click on document ID as what you see over here, and this will change it to a PDF. And then press OK. So that essentially will download the document. But the next thing is that we are going to upload it into the Google Drive. So how do we do that? So we downloaded, we need to upload it into the Google Drive. So click on Google Drive. That's what you see over here. And then we're going to upload a file. So we can scroll down and you see this upload a file section over here. So you also might need to connect. So you just add, right? Sign in with Google and then just authorize accordingly as well. So once you're connected, the next thing is that enter a folder ID. So usually you just want to select from a list. In this case, we know all of invoices will go to our tuition invoices folder. So Hari's tuition and also the invoices as what you see over here. And then it says here, Google Docs, download a document. So this is exactly what we want. We don't have to do anything now. So press OK. All right, so sometimes it has this red thing, but it's fine. Okay, so now let's try it out. Let's go to the invoices folder. Let's try to remove this. Okay, once you have removed it, then after that, let's run once again and see this automation work its magic. All right, once it's done, then let's go back to invoices, and you see that our Google Doc has transformed into a PDF that we can send to the customer, parents, or the student as well, as what you see over here. So once we have done with this step, the next step is then we go and add. So now we have our PDF. How do we then send through email? So the next step is we're going to add our Gmail as what you see over here. So we're going to send an email. So let's click on send email. And then we're going to fill up, right? So I'm going to just put very simple stuff over here. But if you want to add more stuff, you should. So add the recipient and add email address one. So in this, we can click on it and we scroll down and we can just go to the email of the customers as what you see over here. So you just click on this one. And then the subject over here, just say, you can say in the subject, reminder for payment. And lastly, the content as what you see over here. What you want to do is to add in the PDF URL. So since we have uploaded a file, we just want to add in the PDF. So what we can do is we can just choose the web view link as what you see over here. So you just click on it and that's it. All right, let's go back to the invoices and delete all of our invoices as well. And let's try it out again. So go to make.com, save this. So you can command or control save. And then let's run one more time. And then it sends to the Gmail as what you see over here. And then if I were to go to my gmail.com, you see that I have a reminder for payment. Click on it and you see that the PDF has been shared as well as what you see over here. So that's it. So that is how you create the automation from your Airtable to be sent every 7 days of the month or any day of the month to all of the different customers that you have. Now you can just chill and let it work. So that is how you create an automation that automatically create invoices every single month to your customer. So if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want more of this kind of videos, subscribe down below and comment down what other automations you want me to create for you. With that said, thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.